Hello everyone, in this video we are going to see the classical playwrights in Indian classical literature. If you are taking Indian classical literature, there are many famous playwrights, importantly Sudraka, Bhasa, Bhavbhuti, Harsha and Kalidasa. Those people are considered as great playwrights during the Indian classical literature. Then, why we are pricing those writers' works considered as the most famous? Because their works are considered as the magnum opus during the Indian classical period. Still, their works are prized for its uniqueness. If you are taking Sutraka's Mirchakadikas, which is the most famous work written by Sutraka, then Swapna Vasavadatta, which was written by Bhasa, then our most famous writer and the term which is called Indian Shakespeare. Kalidasa, who is known as the Indian Shakespeare, his famous play known as Abhinyana Sakuntalam. Now, why we are praising those classical playwrights? There are the numerous reasons are there, especially their literary highness. If you are taking all those writers' works, the way they are depicting the character, which was the predominantly unique one, and it has the qualities how he is describing the characters. Then the setting of the play and the plots in their own individualistic way. If you are taking Kalidasa's play, it has some uniqueness the way he is telling the story. If you are taking Sudraka's works or Bhavbhuti or Bhasa, they have the unique way to tell their plot through their unique way. And we are still have the belief that the Sanskrit playwrights are predominantly occupy the place Indian classical literature. Not only they are playing the role as poet, they have the royal patronage like the part of royal household. Even some of the poet have the uh, royalty, like they are rolling the play as the earl, or even the person who is ruling the small kingdoms. Then the first famous playwright, Basha, he was lived in the city Ujjaini. Now, taking his famous work Swapna Vasavadatta, it was come to the limelight in the year 1909, which was discovered by Pandit Andar Alvar, who was worked in archaeological survey of Mysore. Bhasha was also inspired by Mahabharata, which is known as the one of the famous work in Indian classical literature. Also Ramayana, Puranas, and semi-historical legends and figures. If you are taking Basha's works, which it does not following any dramatic rules because it is breaking all the dramatic convention. There are numerous reasons. The one of the reason was he wrote all his works before the Bharata Muni's treatise because he doesn't follow the Natya Sastra, which means it is like the rule book. If you are taking the Bhasha's poetic experiments and disregard of dramatic convention, he never followed the dramatic conventions because he was ready to break the rule. Then Swapna Vasavadatta, it depicts the story of King Udayana, who had to choose between marrying for love his beloved Vasavadatta, who is his lady love, and he has the another one choice. He has to marry Princess Batmavati for the political gain. If you are taking in ancient period, the most of the kings ready to marry the neighboring king's daughter for the political gain. Also, if you are taking the place, the Swapna Vasavadatta, it has the two things, which one is romance and political intrigue. Intrigue, which means in a comical thing. It is the kind of new type of drama. Also, he writes short plays and one act plays and monologues, and he wrote the many literary contribution to the Indian classical literature. Also, he also writing the tragic ending to his plays. If you are taking Indian classical literature, most of the works ending in happy ending stories, but a little bit different. He used the dramatic uh, term called a tragic end in his place. Then the Sutraga. If you are taking the Sutraha as the most important work, Mirchakadika, which is considered as the most important work, he also lived in Ujjaini. If you are taking Mirchakadika, which is considered as the most important work, in English it is known as the Little Clay Cart. If you are taking Bhasha's incomplete play, Chandradattam. Then, the 10-act play depicts the love story of the Brahmin merchant Chandradatta and Vasantasena. If you are taking the play Mirchakadiga, it tells about the love between Chandradatta and Vasantasena. And it also have some serious elements in the play, and finally it ended in happy ending. The play also has romance and humor. If you're taking that play, it tells about the realistic picture of the urban society as well as the complex social structure of the time. For example, if you are taking Chaucer's The Canterbury Tale during that particular age, 15th century, if you are taking 14th or 15th century, Chaucer crystal clearly explains about the social structure of the society, how the people are. He tells about the knight and the prioras and the so many characters in the play or the poem known as the Canterbury Tale, which is considered as one of the famous work by Chaucer. Then, if you are considering Vina Vinava Vasavadatta, if you are taking this one, this is considered as an Unak play, and which is also the one of the famous work. Then, if you are taking the Hindi movie Utsav, which was directed by Krish Karnad, it was fully based on Sutraga's works Mirchakadiga. Then our famous writer Kalidasa. If you are considering Kalidasa, he is known as an Indian Shakespeare. Also, he is considered as one of the famous Sanskrit playwright. He was adapted and translated his famous work, which means his Sakuntalam and his works are translated in many languages. Then, if you are taking his poetic skill, which was unparalleled even today, if you are taking Shakespeare, we can't never see the writer like Shakespeare even till now. Likewise, if you are taking Kalidasa, till now we never see the writer like Kalidasa. And his most of the works is based on Vedas, Puranas, and the epics. He has the quality that he explaining or he is narrating his character in a new way. If you are taking Kalidasa's Malavikayini, Agnimitram, and Vikrama Urvasiyam, these things are the very important work. Then the Raghuvamsam, Abhinyana Sakuntalam, and Kumara Sambhavam, these are all the famous works by Kalidasa. If you are taking the Abhinyana Sakuntalam, which is considered as the recognition of Sakuntala, then finally the Tamil classical playwright Ilango Odigal, which is the most important work and considered as one of the five epics in Tamil literature. If you are taking Adiga, the known as the Ilango Adigal. He was a monk and poet. Sometimes he is identified as a Chera prince. He wrote the famous epic Silappadigaram, which is considered as one of the ancient Tamil epic in Tamil literature. Then, if you are taking the Silappadigaram, which is one of the famous work by Ilango Adigal, Alango Adigal, he is generally Jain saint or an aesthetic and interesting legend. If you are taking Silappadigaram, it sets in the three capitals of Tamil kingdom. The first one is Pugar, which is the capital of Chola, then Madurai, the Pandya capital, and Vanchi, the capital of Chera. Thank you.